holy smokes, there is so much going on in the world of gang stalking. I wasn't going to make a video tonight, but seeing how there's so much material, plus personal reasons, I'm going to go ahead and fire one out there. Now, before I get into what this video is about, which is the NSA hacking, I wanted to share something. You hear this phrase, trials and tribulations, and while you're being gang stalked, you have these trials and tribulations. These words don't describe what the experience of it actually is, and the horror that you experience, and the confusion from moment to moment. It's an attempt on your life. Trials and tribulations doesn't cut it. But sometimes, every once in a while, during our campaigns, we have a victory. And isn't it sweet? One day we'll have the greatest victory of all. I promise you guys, we're getting so close. This is going to be very soon. And I'm going to talk about that later. And what is the greatest victory of all? Freedom, of course. It's our freedom. Everyone talks about freedom in this freaking country, and the government tells us it's a free country. Land of the free, home of the brave. But you and I know that that's a lie. Until then, until freedom does come, we know that these victories are followed up with a great deal of abuse. And why do they do that? They're saying that you can't stop us, and we can't until they are overthrown. I had a personal victory today. You know, it's like whenever you start, so there'll be hell to pay. There'll be hell to pay, of course, because that's what they do. You know, whenever you start doing good, they pull me back in, like the Godfather, like Pacino on The Godfather. But even so, all things considered, at the end of the day, there is still a little piece of my mind that I am still responsible for, and it's only mine. And I'm not giving that away. It's not happening. Now, let's move in to the NSA hack. The National Security Agency has been hacked. Sure it has. I submit a different story. You see, watching this play out, you guys, it's really like, it's the same tactic they used for 9/11. It's the same thing. I mean, haven't we learned anything from the conspiracy of 9/11 and living the aftermath of that? This NSA hack thing never happened. I say it was more like a handover and not a hack at all. And that it happened quite some time ago. Clearly, guys, look at the amount of control over your information, life, and devices. This isn't something that just happened. This wasn't a hack. No. This is something that they have to come out with now. And there's a very good reason why. See, it's the same tactic that they use on us during our personal campaigns, except they're using it on all of us as a whole right now. And the American people who don't know that they're targeted individuals. So, I say that they, quote, hacked themselves. And think about it, you guys, all the way around the board. This is very beneficial to the NSA. World order. Now, take it a step further. Bitcoins are cash money. That is a lot of money. Endless money. All the way around the board, this is very good for them. Further than that, I believe Snowden, Mr. Edward Snowden, I don't think that he's the threat to the NSA that he's presented to be. That whole story seems very contrived and very convenient to me. You know, you can't just tell people that you're in favor for a new world order. Nobody's gonna go along with somebody who's promoting that crap. You can't do that. You have to trick them into it. Just like we see the American people being tricked every day out of being aware of our campaigns. And we are tricked every single day. You can't just come out and say, big government. It's a trick. It's a huge magic trick. You have to integrate it slowly. It's a slow integration, just like your campaign was slowly integrated into your life so that you didn't and couldn't figure out what was going on the first year. It's the same tactic used on a massive scale. Where does this tactic come from? Well, this tactic is Hitler's tactic. And what's interesting about that is, you see, Hitler didn't just come out and say that he was going to burn children alive inside of ovens with their mothers and families and fathers. No, you can't do that. Hitler was an incredible speaker. He was incredibly personable. There were a lot of people behind him. Not behind the Holocaust at first. It was an integration into their society and thinking. It was a brainwashing, a coercion as a whole. And then gang stalking was born and implemented on a local level, like you and I experience every day. These tactics stem from Hitler. Your country is doing exactly what Hitler was attempting to do and what he was successful at doing. He wasn't successful at taking over the world, but he was successful at depopulating his portion of it, or the portion that he deemed was his. and the human beings that he deemed control over. See, all of a sudden then, the Holocaust was just happening. And people were going along with it. It was just happening. It came about slowly. It's the same tactics. The same evil, power, money. That's what your life is expendable for. Yeah. So what is this going to do to the gang stalking community? Well, while they're using this tactic on all of us on a large scale, some good is going to come out of this. A lot of good. This is going to cause the TI community to grow in great numbers because their, quote, Homeland Security terror watch list, which doesn't exist at all, their throwaway list, their list of people that they deem as throwaways, that's going to grow. They're adding to it. And that's why this quote-unquote hack has come about. As a result of adding many souls to this list, very unfortunate souls, there's going to be a lot of reports of strange activity, mental illness, psychiatric fraud. These complaints will go off the charts, and our community is going to grow. Now, while these reports are going on, what are they going to say? Oh, remember? Quote unquote Russia. It was Russia. Russia hacked in, or whoever ends up, wearing the bag for this one, hacked into our whole system. And remember, they sold your secrets, all your passwords, and everything on the internet. Well, shit, it could be anybody after you. It's not your government. No, we would never hurt you. Now, the thing about that, there's a saying. If it looks like a duck, and it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. Probably is a duck. Did you catch that? In this case, our government, along with the other governments, are inside of the duck, wearing it like a freaking clown suit, and the duck suit is in the form of Stasi.